All right, so here we're supposed to find the slope from just 2 points. Well, we've done that already. We've looked at the graph, but this time what they're doing is they are actually giving us the points. We don't even have to pull it off the graph. And again, writing this, I thought about, it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or we can say it's y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2 because we don't know which point we want to call first point, second point. So it doesn't matter which one you use as y1 or which one you use as y2. Those two are interchangeable. So again, we could say this is our x1, y1, and this is our x2, y2. Or we could have said, well, maybe we want this to be 0.2, this to be 0.1. It really doesn't matter because as long as you keep the same one the same both times, as your x2 and your y2 the same, it doesn't matter which place you put it because when you do the subtraction, it's all going to work out in the end. Okay, so if we do this with the way I have it set up, this is the x1 and this is the x2. And then what we can do is we'll have y2, 8 minus 4, so maybe we should write this down, over 3 minus a minus 5. Well, 8 minus 4 is 4. 3 minus a minus 5, that's going to be 3 plus 5. That's going to be 8. Well, that can be reduced to 1/2. And so our slope is positive and it's 1/2. Okay, so that means we're going to have something going up like this. What about the next one? Again, it doesn't matter which way we do it. So slope is equal to, maybe this time we want to take 7 minus a minus 4 over 5 minus 3. Well, 7 minus a minus 4 is 7 plus 4, so that's going to be 11 over 5 minus 3 is what? 2. And again, we have a positive slope. Okay, so that's kind of a nice thing. Again, it doesn't matter which one we call point 1, point 2. It can go either way, and we still get an answer, and it's going to be the correct answer as long as we do our math properly. Okay. All right, so we've used our point slope form. You know, we had 2 points, we found a slope, and that's not a problem. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change it up a little bit. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be given this slope and one whole point, and then we have to find either the x or the y in the other one. So in this case, we have to find the x, and it looks like in this case, we have to find the y. All right, so how do we do that? Okay, well, let's try it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe write my formula. So I'm going to say a negative 8 over 5 equals, and now I'm going to keep a positive x. And so when I keep a positive x, I'm going to say x, and then I'm going to say, oops, I want the x on the bottom, not the top, so I better write it lower than that. I'm going to say x minus a minus 3. And on top, that means it's going to be 6 minus a minus 2. Okay, so now what we can do is we can simplify. And so that gives us a negative 8 over 5 equals 6 minus a minus 2 is going to be 6 plus 2, which is 8. And x minus a minus 3 is going to be x plus 3. Okay. Now, there's multiple ways we can do this, but we still have to solve it no matter how we do it. So if we remember cross products, that might be the easiest way. So we're going to take this times that equals that times that. So we're going to take a negative 8 times x plus 3 equals 5 times 8. Now we're again solving for x, so now we do a distribution, and with that one's easy distribution. So we have negative 8x minus 24 equals 5 times 8 is 40. Now if we subtract 20, or add 24 rather, that gives us a negative 8x equals, and that's going to be 64. Now we divide by negative 8. So x is equal to what? Well, it's going to be equal to 64 divided by 8 is 8, and it has to be a negative. Okay, and so that would be our value. Now, does it make sense? Well, if we plug in a negative 8 here, that's going to give us a negative 8 plus here is negative 5. So it's going to be 8 over negative 5, which is the same thing as negative 8 over 5. Those are equal. Okay, so that does look good. Now, what about this one? Well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to set up the problem. Negative 1 over 5, which is my slope, is equal to. Now I'm going to keep this one first, y minus, and I'm going to say minus 4 over, now I have to keep the 8 first, 8 minus a minus 2. Okay. Now simplifying, I have y minus 4 on the top, and 8 minus a minus 2 is 8 plus 2, which is 10. Now again, cross product is going to probably be the easiest way to go here. So we have minus 1 times a 10 equals 5 times y minus 4. And so we're going to have to distribute. So a minus 10 equals 5y, and that's going to be a minus 20. So now we add 20, we add 20. 20 minus 10 is 10 equals 5y. Divide by 5, y equals 2. So that is what we find out for our answer here. Now, does that make sense? Well, 2 minus 4 is a minus 2. Minus 2 over 10, we can reduce that to negative 1 over 5. Well, that's what it equals. So that looks like we have the correct answer. And again, all we're using is our slope formula and then solving for the missing variable. Okay. What about this one? So here we're going to solve for x. So let's say 2/5 equals. Now we do our y's. So let's put our x first so we know what we're doing. So we're going to take x minus a minus 9. And then we're going to take a minus 7 minus a minus 9. So simplifying, we have 2 over 5. And now we have, becomes a plus. So we have 9 minus 7, which is 2. And here we have x plus 9. So that's just going to be x plus 9. Well, I'm seeing something here. 2 is equal to 2, so that's already done. So what I can do is I can set the denominator equal to each other and say, well, let's do it over here. 5 equals x plus 9, subtract 9. X is equal to a negative 4. And so if I plug a negative 4 in here, negative 4 plus 9 is 5. And so then those are equal. So that is the correct solution. But what if I didn't see that? What if I just said, okay, we're going to multiply. So we'll take 5 times 2 equals 2 times x plus 9. We distribute. That's 10 is equal to 2x plus 18. Subtract 18. So we have here a minus 8 equals 2x divided by 2, and x is equal to a negative 4, which is what we found here. So both ways, we end up with the same answer. One of them, we just had to be observant and notice the numerators were already equal. So now we're just going to set the two denominators equal, and we can solve for our x. All right, here we're going to find slopes again. So we're plugging in our values into the normal slope formula. So our m is equal to, now again, it doesn't matter. Let's say we take 10 here minus a minus 7 over, now we have to use a minus 15 minus, and it's going to be a 16. All right, so now we simplify. 10 minus a minus 7 is 10 plus 7, so that's going to be 17. We have minus 15 minus 16. That's going to be a minus, and that's going to be 1, 2, 31. Okay. And so we get negative 17 over 31 if we want to write it with the negative on the top. And so that would be our slope. All right, what about this one? Well, again, we're just going to choose one of them. It doesn't matter. Well, let's take the 12 minus 7 over minus 2 minus minus 2. All right, so that's going to be 12 minus 7 is 5. Minus 2 plus 2, well, that's going to give us 0. Well, guess what? That's undefined. So that one is one that we have to remember. When you divide by 0, that's undefined. So that means it's a vertical line, okay? And if we see it's a vertical line at x equals a negative 2. All right, so if we put our axes here, then let's change the color to draw our line. Let's draw it green maybe. It's going to be a vertical line at x equals minus 2. So this is, here's the 1, 2, and that's going to be what the line looks like. All right. All right, let's stop there.